Welcome to Cost Controls. I'm Reba Haskell. In this video, we are going to go over our syllabus and also go over how we have laid out this course in Canvas. So if you have found this video, you have logged into Canvas, and this should be the view that you have of your Canvas. You can see we've got the syllabus over here, the modules, the grades. We're pretty much going to live in the modules. So we'll go ahead, we'll open that up and pull open our syllabus. All right, so when we come in here, we've got our syllabus, we have our frequently used formulas, our articulate, our welcome video. I will go over these two in a minute, but let's go over the syllabus first. All right, so we pull it up here. This is an asynchronous class, which means that this is an online class and you can work at this at your leisure. I do offer office hours if you would like to attend those. Most of the time my schedule doesn't necessarily line up with people who are taking online classes, so if you need your own office hours, contact me. I'd be happy to meet with you. Otherwise, you can stop by my office Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 1. All right, just a little bit about me. I have been teaching this course for several years. I've been at the college for since 2016. Before this, I worked with Pappas Restaurants for over 20 years. So I do have a lot of experience in managing costs, controlling costs. I do like to teach this from an operations standpoint. If you'd like to stop by my office, it's 231J. That is behind the hallway behind the Waldorf Astoria Ballroom. My phone number is listed here as well as my email address, and feel free to use either of those forms of communication to contact me. You can read the course description, you can read the objectives. As we get down to support materials, this is optional. If you feel like you need a textbook, it's something you would read, something you'd utilize, this is the one I teach from. Otherwise, I went ahead with another instructor and we put all the information that you would need from the textbook into what is called the articulate, which will be referred to several times throughout the videos. The articulate will be your textbook, and when we get back to Canvas, I will show you what that articulate is. And that's basically, we have put all that information into a format that's very like mobile friendly, reader friendly, interactive, short and sweet, not me talking over PowerPoints, and something that you can refer to before you get into your weekly lessons. If you do want to refer to the textbook, it is on reserve in the Massid Library. All right, how are you graded in this class? You will be graded over the following items. Okay, you will have 3 exams over the course of the semester. These are really very similar to all of the videos that you will watch. Okay, so you will, when you take your first exam, there will be a video that you should watch that's going to explain to you exactly how to take the test, but it's basically going to have you complete Excel worksheets, and then it's going to ask you questions about the answers that you got from your Excel worksheets. We'll also have weekly quizzes. I will tell you that one of my beliefs when I teach online classes is that you should have something due every single week. Not necessarily something huge, but something that just keeps you on point. I've taken classes before where some weeks there's something due, some weeks there's not, and honestly for me it's just easier to know that every single Sunday I've got to turn something in. And as an instructor, it's easier for me to find the students that have kind of fallen off the class, because if you miss one thing, you're not completely out of it, but 2, I can get in touch with you and we can kind of get you back on track. But you will have these quizzes. These quizzes you will either have a quiz or a test each week. The quizzes are going to go over the articulate material. The exams are going to cover more of the lectures, the video lectures. You will have a real life application paper, and basically for this, you're going to find a manager who works in the industry, and you're going to ask them questions about how they control costs. So one thing I do like about this class is there's some classes that you take that are a lot of theory. This class, you will you will use really no matter what industry you go into. If it is a business, if it uses money, if it uses supplies, if it uses labor, then you will use cost controls. And so I want you to speak to a manager and kind of find out how they use these cost controls measures in their daily life, so you can see that what you learned in class you're actually going to use when you get into your career. This will be due towards the end of the semester. It's a very important assignment that I feel like you should complete. So make plans to interview this person ahead of time. Don't wait till the week it's due and then try and find somebody. Start thinking about who you want to talk to. Think about the questions that you would have for them, because not only they're going to have to line up with your schedule and you're going to have to line up with theirs. So anticipate that this is going to take maybe 2 weeks for you to kind of schedule and get together. You also will have a case study project, all right? So I will assign you a group. If you know people in this class, if you see people in maybe the discussion board and say, oh, I've had a class with them before, I'd love to be in their class, I will make a deadline. You can ask me in the group with them. Otherwise, I will assign this. It'll be out in probably a couple weeks on Canvas. Again, I know it's an online class, but I do believe in collaboration no matter what the format, and this is a real life practice in what it's like to have to communicate with somebody who doesn't necessarily work in the same classroom as you or live across the hall from you. Okay, so just like in the industry where you might be waiting on vendor quotes before you can send out your proposal, you might be waiting on someone who is not in this class to get the information to you. Okay, so it's just good practice in communication and collaborating with someone. This is due at the end of the semester. This is basically your final exam. You'll kind of have, I'll give you checkpoints throughout the semester and say, at this point you should be here, at this point you should be here, at this point you should be here. And at any moment in time, if you want to stop by my office or send me the information and make sure you're on the right track, just send it to me and I'll give you some feedback. All right, so you can see the breakdown here. You can see the grading scale. If you have any questions about your grade, please contact me and I can walk you through that. All right, so we see an outline. Again, we've got assignments to every single week. You have week 1 with the dates. You have your topic and chapter, okay, and then everything that you're going to kind of go over, as well as your assignment that's due. All right. So we see that broken down for the entire semester. And then when we get back to Canvas, I will show you that I've kind of broken up Canvas into the exact same modules. All right, so just a little bit about participation. So we did talk about the group project. I understand also that you might have a group member that no longer participates, okay? So I do have a policy here that if you cannot get in touch with somebody, I recommend that you communicate 3 times. And if that person has not communicated with you, not responded, not said anything to you, I allow you to move forward on the project without them, okay? And then that individual will either need to find another group or do the project on their own, all right? Also with that, I understand some group members might start out with you and then not end with you. So all group members must submit a copy of the group project to be graded, okay? So not just one person from your group turns it in, everyone does. So if they did not participate enough to have all the information, well, they can't turn it in. So they'll have to either come up with their own or they'll be graded on what they participated in, all right? Also, please do not tell me the week before the project's due that you are having problems with a group member. We need to address this by about week 10, and then at that point, you just got to move on. All right, as far as my late policy, I'll accept late work for 50% credit of the full week. For the full week after the assignment is due, all right? If you do miss a test, you're going to have to contact me in order to have the assignment open for you. And on the rest of the syllabus, we have some required language that you're going to see on all of your other syllabus at the university. All right, so let's go back to Canvas here, go back into our modules. So you saw that calendar that has all the weeks and dates and everything due. That is how we've broken down Canvas, okay? So you see your project information here. You can refer to that a little bit later, but we see week 1. Okay, week 1, you're going to complete everything in the module. You're going to complete the Kahoot, the welcome video, and the look at the syllabus. Okay, and then there's a discussion board just to introduce yourself, and that'll be added after this video. So then you go into week 2, and this is kind of what a standard week is going to look like. You'll have that Kahoot to kind of review some of the information. You will have videos that are going to be attached to an Excel document. So here we see this is an Excel document here, and then you have videos that go along with each problem in there. And once you open it, it'll make a lot of sense. And I've broken them down into smaller videos so that if you're looking for one specific question, it's a lot easier for you to find. And then you've got a quiz here that you will go over for this week. And then you're finished. So if there's nothing left in your module, you should be done for the week. All right, and then going back up to the information, these 2 things right here, the frequently used formulas and the cost control articulate, these are things that you're going to use every single week. All right, so in frequently used formulas, basically when you go through the articulate, there is a lot of different formulas that you need. So how do we calculate food cost? Well, it's going to be the cost of food sold divided by the revenue of the food sold. How do we calculate labor costs? Well, it's the cost of labor divided by our total sales. How do we calculate efficiency? Okay, so there's a lot of different formulas, and you'll see if you open this up, it's very, very long. We went ahead and we consolidated those for you. I highly suggest that you print this out, not just save it on your computer, but print it out so you can actually make notes to it and utilize it while you're walking through the videos, okay? Make notes on it. By the end of the semester, it should honestly be like super tattered up because you've kind of messed around with it and used it so much. Then when you get into the articulate, this is your textbook, okay? We're going to open this up. And you will see in here, we have, let's go back to, so it says cost controls articulate. We see the little hamburger here. You've got all of the different chapters that we are going to go over, all right? So let's say we're talking about creating sales forecasts. You go ahead and open that up. And this is basically what you need to read over. You've got all of your objectives, a little bit of reading. You're probably going to see some, right here, we've got some interactive cards, okay? You can just kind of practice with, and this is where you're going to find the information for your quizzes, and you'll also need this before you start working. It's going to make the Excel documents a lot easier if you open this up first. All right, I think that is the extent of what we need to go over in this course. If you have any questions, please give me a call, email me, stop by my office. But otherwise, I hope you have a great semester, and I look forward to seeing you.